What's up everyone? For today's movie, I will tell you a story of a good movie, featuring some famous individuals, including Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Big Sean, Kid Cudi, NBA superstar LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and many others. So just relax out there, and allow me to tell you what happened in this movie with the title House Party. The film opens in the city of Los Angeles, while a man named Kevin, who's been single not too long, and a father to his daughter named Destiny, is trying to make hip-hop beats but isn't very good at it. It also shows that he's struggling financially and needs to live with his parents. But Kevin's parents tells that he needs to find his own house to live, cause they're going to sell their house, and they are planning on enjoying their pension life from now on. In another instance, Kevin's best friend named Damon, who is an immature slacker, and always creates trouble for him, is staying with his aunt after his parents throws him out. A while later, Kevin is on his way to work, when he is accosted by a party promoter named Kyle, together with his two men. They then harass him, and said that they have a bone to pick with his friend Damon, since he messed around with their cousin and hasn't called her back. They also tells that Damon apparently stole her gold chain. Kyle also added that he kicks Kevin and Damon off of a party they were planning for the next night, which they've invested all of the money they have, and it is also supposed to be an important gig for the two of them. After that, Kevin and Damon are seen working in a huge house for a cleaning company. While Kevin tries to take things seriously, Damon usually gets him in trouble for no reason. Then, Kevin gets a call from his friend Venus, who informs them that their bosses have seen the security footage of them, smoking weeds and doing some nasty things at the last house they worked at. She also tells that they are effectively fired from their work. Meanwhile, Damon goes around the house, to mess around like what he always did. And while loitering, he admires so many expensive items in the house, until he comes to a room where he sees so many trophies and other valuable stuff. He then looks at a humanitarian award, and realizes that the house belongs to Los Angeles Lakers superstar, LeBron James. So, he immediately runs to tell Kevin what he discovers, but before that, Kevin informs him that they have been fired. And when he tells Kevin that the house which they're cleaning is LeBron James' house, he didn't believe him, so he shows him the room where the trophies are located. Then, a hologram of LeBron appears out of nowhere that shocks the two of them. Damon then gets the idea to throw a house party at LeBron's house, since they're getting fired from their work anyway, and they both need money so badly. At first, Kevin doesn't like the idea, and tells that they might be going to jail if something went wrong. But Damon convinced him, and tells that he especially needs the money which they can get in organizing the party, since Kevin wants to pay for Destiny's tuition fee all the way to college. He also added that LeBron would not find out about it, cause he is away, on a 2-week-long meditation retreat. Kevin then decides to go along with Damon's idea. And just as the two decides to go through with the plan, they suddenly meet Peter, the neighbor of LeBron, who is looking for his pet koala named Marley. Peter then asks them on where is LeBron, who are they, and what's their relationship to him, so they pretend to be employed by LeBron to get him off the back. The next day, the guys set their plans in motion. They hire their friend Vic to be the DJ, but they order him not to drink so he can have a clear head, since every time they hired him was always a mess, cause he always got drunk and do something unusual. Kevin also invites Venus and her cousin Mika to come by, but Venus nearly leaves when she finds out what the guys are trying to do, and only sticks around because Mika likes the place. Venus also mentions that her getting in trouble would cost her a promotion that she is up for. Damon then sends out various invitations, including a heartfelt email to his singer crush named Maya. Then, he plans to leave using Kevin's car to buy something, but he finds car keys hanging in the wall. So, he takes one of them and tries to start the car. He then freaks out when he sees the car of LeBron, which is a green Lambo. And after that, he immediately drives it out and brags to all the people who knows him and invites them to the party. As the night begins, people starts to show up, but the bouncer that the guys hired is selective about who he lets in. One guy then attempts to force his way in, only for the bouncer to slugs him in the stomach and throws him into a bush. Because of that, the guy threatens to come back with his gun, but the bouncer knows he's not going to come back. Later on, more guests appears at the house party. including Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Big Sean, and Kid Cudi. Damon then tries to approach Cudi when he sees that Cudi smokes weed by himself, but he creeps out with his weird behavior. Cudi also asks him about LeBron and where is he. But Damon tells him that LeBron will arrive soon, and change the topic before he leaves. Later then, Kevin and Damon gets into a dance showdown with Venus and a singer named Tinashe. With the guys showing off by doing the kickstep and some other cool moves, the two girls are also doing the same thing. Then, Tinashe is impressed with Venus' talent in dancing, and she invites Venus to audition for her as a backup dancer. In another instance, Kyle and his men finds that their party is dead, with virtually nobody in attendance. Then, Kyle overhears from two other bar patrons about the house party happening nearby, finding out that Damon is the one throwing it. So, they forcefully gets the address from the two patrons and heads off. Meanwhile, things starts to get out of control at the party, because Vic sneaks off being a DJ due to being bored with sobriety. He then hits a bomb with Lena Waithe and gets ridiculously high, along with Marley the koala. Kevin then sees Damon and confronts him, since he is messing around with two women who's openly stealing LeBron's belongings, and acting like everything is under control. The guys get into an argument over how Damon is always bringing Kevin down, and he tells Damon that he should not consider Destiny his goddaughter, because Kevin would not trust him with her, which hurts Damon's feelings. But while that's happening, Kyle and his men arrives at the party, and sneaks into the room where LeBron's trophies are located, cause the guard that should have guarding it leaves to pee. And there, they seize LeBron championship ring with the Cavaliers, and steals it before they went outside. Damon then goes outside because of his quarrel with Kevin, but he gets assaulted by Kyle and his men when they saw him. Luckily, Marley the koala emerges and attacks them, sending them to run off. And just as Damon thanks Marley, it attacks Damon too. But right before it, he is picked up by a beautiful woman. And it turns out to be his crush Maya, who read Damon's email and was touched enough to show up to the party. A while later, Vic quits being a DJ, leaving the party without music. Kevin then attempts to put his own beats on, but everyone hates it, except for Big Sean. Hearing the crowd's boos, Damon has to leave a chance to hang out with Maya, so that he can back Kevin up. Things slowly getting in a mess. But they are saved when rapper Juvenile, who turns out to be Venus' uncle, shows up to get the party back in business. After that, Peter shows up at the party, and is being upset because his pet Marley the koala is high due to drugs. And just as he tries to threaten the guys by calling the police, Mika shows up, and becomes interested in Peter after she discovers that he is rich. So, Peter leaves with her, and went to his house to have a good time. The head of security that the guys hired then comes to inform them that LeBron's ring had been stolen. So, they immediately search for it, until they finds a guy that wearing a Cavaliers championship ring. But it happens to be Tristan Thompson, LeBron James' teammate in the Cavs before. Luckily, Cudi overhears that they are looking for LeBron's ring, and tells them that he knows how to get them a replacement ring in short time. He also tells that the Illuminati have all the copies of every NBA championship rings from past till present. Venus then volunteers to hold the house down while the guys are out, and she kisses Kevin before he leaves. Then, Maya shows up and informs Kevin that Damon turned her down to help him, allowing Kevin to trust Damon again. After that, Cudi takes them to an Illuminati party, where they dress in hooded robes. Kevin and Cudi then goes inside the venue, while Damon is searching for the ring's replacement. Meanwhile, Kevin sees Mark Cuban at the party and calls him, and agrees to buy a pitch from Kevin before he hears it. Damon then manages to sneaks off and finds a ring successfully. But just as they leaving, Damon sees someone sneezing, and he accidentally says, "God bless you," which alerts the rest of the Illuminati, while Cudi screams that they are intruders. The two then tries to escape the scene, but they are caught by the guards and forced into an underground fight club, where they must fight to survive against brutish men with axes and swords. And when they are about to get killed, Cudi intervenes and kills one of the men, but another man kills him, before Kevin and Damon impales that man. They try to save Cudi, but he assures them that the Illuminati will resurrect him. He also gives them a poem that he wrote, and says that only LeBron can read it. Meanwhile, as the two are planning to do the right things and decides to end the party, LeBron himself arrives home and is angry to see the party going on. He then sees and greets Snoop Dogg in the midst of the crowds. Then, Kevin and Damon comes to him, and tries to plead and explain their sides. But LeBron didn't bother to listen to them and threatens to call the cops. So, Damon takes the fall to spare Kevin and opts to take the full punishment of what they did. Unexpectedly, before LeBron can call the cops, Damon challenged him to a one-on-one basketball match so he can avoid jail time. At first, LeBron doesn't want to accept his challenge, but the crowds encouraged him to give Damon a chance. When the match starts, Damon scores at him, cause he is caught off guard. But after that, LeBron takes it seriously, and Damon can't do anything to stop him. He even asks Anthony Davis for help, but he gets ignored by him. Unsurprisingly, Damon loses miserably, and LeBron calls the cops to arrest him. Kevin feels bad for letting Damon the only one who will get into jail, but Damon says that her daughter needs him and assures him he will be fine. As Kevin and Venus are leaving the party, Kevin finds that Damon left him with money for his daughter Destiny. 4 months later, Kevin narrates that Damon was sentenced to a year in prison. But after reading Cudi's letter, LeBron convinced the judge to let Damon off early for good behavior, and he even has Maya come to pick him up at the gate. Meanwhile, Kyle and his men are arrested for trying to sell the championship ring that they stole from LeBron. Kevin and Venus then starts a relationship, and Venus pursue her dancing career in full time. Kevin also says that they have to give all the money they made from the party to LeBron for the damages to his house, but Big Sean helped Kevin get his music career started, since he liked his beats and that earned him enough money to pay for Destiny to go to school. And before the movie ends, Cudi is brought back to life by the Illuminati. And that's the end of the story. Thank you for watching everyone, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you in our next movie recap.